guys, Vinay here with Remax Realtron Toronto Real Estate Genius. I'm here with my good friend Josh Kepkay from McDonald Realty, all the way out in Vancouver. And I really appreciate you being here with me. What? Vancouver? That's awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with me and speak to me about real estate and yourself.
Thanks so much for
So
having me, Vinny. This is the place where you come to retire. You go to Toronto to make your money, then you make it, and then you come to Vancouver to retire and live on the beach with the mild climate.
that's awesome. I'm a huge beach fan, so you've sold me already. So I just want to, I guess, introduce everybody to you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in real estate, and why you decided to get into the business.
Give you the elevator pitch, eh? Okay. Well, what I always tell people is I create dreams, but then I just laugh it off and tell them, no, I just sell houses like everybody else in Vancouver. And that means condos and townhomes too. But I grew up here in Vancouver, technically North Vancouver in Deep Cove, which is like it's a very quaint little part. It's one of the last parts of Vancouver right now that still has a community vibe. So it's like it's the only place I'll pull the not in my backyard card because I want it to be the same when I eventually move back there. I've been in real estate for 4 years and change now. And what else could I tell you? Vancouver is an awesome city that I love living in and love introducing people to. And I think everybody just kind of ends up in real estate eventually.
So if you could, you're in Vancouver, you've been there, I guess, long term. If you could live anywhere else in the world, where would it be?
I like
Trick
Italy.
question.
I like Italy, but I really think Indonesia is a beautiful place. It really makes sunsets. Pretty much, if it could be somewhere developing on the upswing where I could ride a motorcycle around and just kind of explore and soak up the sun and have a community to plug into and invest in, then I'd be pretty happy. So I think Indonesia is a beautiful place for that. And you can still
Nice.
get some Western food because rice and noodles just kind of had enough of that after a while.
But you guys have a good food scene in Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like it's kind of like Toronto. I mean, like there's so much, you can get pretty much everything there, right?
Yeah, we're a very international city in Vancouver. Lots of Asian demographics, lots of Middle East. Well, India's got a strong population here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could pretty much get anything under the sun. I think, I don't know, just based on watching like one of Anthony Bourdain's shows on Toronto. I've actually never spent any time in Toronto. Sorry, it's a cardinal sin. I've driven through it.
Yeah.
But I understand how it's kind of like a seashell is how he framed it. And you got all your ethnic enclaves kind of come out in this circular pattern. And I don't know if we're designed in such a way as that. But yeah, we've got a lot of options.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, I mean, tell us about, what, I guess, like, what are you looking to, kind of a weird question, but, what is your mission in real estate? Like, why did you get into real estate? What are you looking to accomplish with your, your work, your life's work?
Yeah, I am not someone that puffs himself up too much. So I'll just give you the real story is for me, I don't have any aspirations to be like the top realtor in Vancouver. For me, it's more about being able to provide for a family that I'll have one day and to not have to go into an office and build somebody else's business because I've found doing that years previous when I wasn't in real estate that you kind of get used and abused if you're not in the right company and you don't really get what you put in. So I found real estate as a really good opportunity to serve others. I think that's really important to me, help people build wealth and make the right decisions around this stuff, especially after watching my mother over my childhood do a lot of buying of houses, fixing them up, and then selling them. So to be able to provide some guidance to people in that way while controlling which 12, 16 hours of a day I'm working rather than being chained down to somebody else's office is important to me. But my mission is, yeah, just to serve the community, add value, and just, you know what my favorite thing is about real estate, and maybe you're the same, is that it really forces you to become a better person. You have no choice.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah, totally. You know what? I couldn't agree more. I mean, like, just trying to make your community a better place, being involved, just, being an advocate for people in your area. I think ever since I've joined real estate, it has definitely made me become a better person. I never used to be a morning person, and now I find myself waking up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym, and it's like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
you never would have thought. I mean, now I have two kids and things are a little bit different.
Wow.
So I have to start my day earlier because by, 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, it's kind of daddy time, right? So you have to be on and get your day started earlier so that you can get your routine done before you can help them with their routine. So yeah, definitely, I think it's definitely helped me grow as a person, not only professionally but in my personal life as well. Yeah. So what's one of the funniest things you've ever seen or experienced in your career?
Oh, well, I don't know what you've had with showings, but one time I had a seller that forgot about a showing appointment, and it was on a home on the Sunshine Coast, which is not actually in Vancouver, so you can do a bit more lockbox and these kind of things over there. And
Yeah.
the buyer's agent went in, seller was in the bathtub, and nobody saw somebody else in the bathtub. But to have like buyer's agent and clients go into a house and be like, hello, or start showing it, and then to have the seller be like, I'm actually still here and I'm in the bath, so could you get lost and come back later? Was kind of interesting. It was funny. I mean, luckily things are a little more casual over there, and nobody got too upset. We just had a good laugh. But yeah, that was a fun one.
I'll tell you mine real quick. So I was
Please.
showing this condo, and we banged the door. Like, we went through security. We knocked on the door. We went up to the condo. We went through the whole condo. It was a 2-bedroom condo, and we were talking and opening blinds and opening lights and looking in cabinets, and we get to the last bedroom and we notice that the owner is passed out, fast asleep, snoring in that room. And we had gone through the entire condo, and at the end, the last room that we went into, he was there, and he didn't get up. He didn't get up the entire time. So we saw the entire condo with the exception of that room. Once we found out that he was there sleeping, we left and we locked the door and we left. But that, I couldn't believe that he didn't wake up the entire time we were there. It was just hilarious. For me, that was the cake, the cherry on top of the cake of that show. That's for sure.
Hey, if no one's disturbed and everyone got through it all right, then whatever. If we do what we got to do.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, why don't you tell us a bit about, what's been going on in Vancouver? Like, how's the market going there? Like,
Yeah.
is it still very active?
Well, much like yourself, I track what's happening on a daily basis. I mean, you're getting up at 5. I'll one up you, and I get up at 4:30. And what part of what I do in the morning, apart from the dog walking and the sort of selfish time that I can take at that time of the day, is I review every sale that's come on the market or come off the market, and every new property that's come on, and any price changes in the last 24 hours. And what I'm seeing is listings are saying the inventory is not fallen right off. So we've still got inventory there, but sales have come down maybe anywhere from 30 to 50% based on areas. But I'm still seeing things selling. I'm still seeing things selling in multiple offers. I actually had a client buy a property sight unseen in downtown Vancouver in Yaletown, because we were able to get a deal by pushing our way through the door first, so to speak. So the market's still active. I don't think there's ever been a period in history where real estate's fully stopped, but market's still active. Sales are slowing down. Prices are still holding where they are for the moment, and yeah, I think it's a really interesting time to be doing it, especially if you're a bit younger like yourself and me, where we're a bit more versatile than some of our older
Yeah.
colleagues. I think the general demographic in realtors is like 50 plus, and let's be honest, those guys aren't super savvy on doing a Zoom call for a listing appointment or getting a buyer toured around a home over FaceTime with a tenant. So yeah, it's interesting day. It's strange days, but we push forward, and I'm surprisingly thriving in this environment. How about yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
What's happening in
amazing.
Toronto?
So same, the listings have definitely come down. Like, we're looking at the first half of April, in comparison to last April, and we noticed that, listings are probably about between 60 to 70% less than they were last year. Obviously, this is supposed to be a busy month for us, for us in real estate. So listings have come down. Whatever is on the market is still surprisingly selling. I've been out with a few buyers, and to be honest, we have made offers on the properties that we went to go and see, and they just haven't been able to get in because things have been going into multiple offers.
Yeah.
So it's not like, for sellers, it's not a bad time to be on the market as long as you're priced correctly, and the regular stuff. You're marketing your properties correctly and you're priced correctly. There's no reason why the property won't sell. I think, if the buyers are out there still looking for a good deal nowadays, it's not like that. It hasn't gone into a buyer's market where prices have come down 5, 10, 15%, right? So it's good to see that the prices are still holding in Toronto. And I just, it's hard to say what's going to happen, I guess, when things get back to some sort of normalcy, whether we're going to have a flood in the market. But I'm sure you saw TD's, saying that we're going to have a 8% increase in housing prices.
I didn't see that. Is that for Toronto or for Canada?
I believe it was for Toronto. But they're saying that, like, how I'm sure you saw, like, Steve Harney when he said about the L curve, the U curve, the V curve. So they're predicting a V curve, which is quite interesting.
I have a hard time
see.
with those things, if I'm honest with you, because they're more
like
they're for North America, but they are a bit more focused on the US. I think for BC and Vancouver specifically, what I always have told clients is we've got two things that protect us in Vancouver real estate right now, or today, as I would say, because my website domain is full employment. Always got full employment in Vancouver, and immigration. And this is we've just seen employment drop off, and immigration, I don't know the numbers, but I'm imagining is since nobody's moving anywhere at the moment. So I think that we stand to see some correction on condo prices, especially in Vancouver, because not only do we have 36,000 units completing new construction, and people may be without jobs right now. We'll see what happens in the next few weeks, but like, they're not going to be able to complete. There's other stuff coming on the market. So for sellers, great time to get out ahead of that. And for buyers, but the problem for buyers who think, oh, I'm just going to get this smoking hot deal in 6 months from now. I don't know if that's true either, because the really good stuff, when it comes up, like you say, it goes. I've lost in multiple offers 2 times in the last couple of weeks. So it's very context specific.
I agree.
But at the end of the day, we're not gonna, this is Canada. We're gonna come out of this okay. It's just a matter of hanging on,
holding on. Holding on, exactly. And I think our markets are very similar. I mean, they've always dominated the Canadian real estate sector. So, and I think that we're very similar in terms of our peaks and our dives, because like you said, it's all relative to the workforce and our immigration. And we have the same thing here.
Well,
So
you
I
might
agree.
have better
I agree.
fundamentals though for working. I think there's more to be work to be had in Toronto than Vancouver because we're so tourism based, right? We're a bit of a resort
Yeah.
town, or we're headed that way.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, yeah, in terms of the businesses all kind of being here, I can definitely see it's more like the New York of Canada, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think if anything, we'll be the first ones to bounce back if in a crisis just because of that, right? But
Mm-hmm.
from what we're seeing now, I mean, yeah, sales are down, but obviously new listings are down too. So it's all relative to the same thing, right? Essentially, like if no new listings are coming out, right? It's gonna be balanced. It's gonna have to balance itself out at some point. So yeah, I want to ask you. Oh, what's the first thing you're gonna do after quarantine?
I don't know, like if I am that much under quarantine right now. Like I know Ontario is a little bit more strict. I've heard people, bylaw officers are canning people like carding people on the streets in some parts to see if you live in the same place. My life hasn't changed that much because I've got the dog and I have to go out and walk the dog and
Yeah,
so I guess just go back to some restaurants and businesses. Like I have
totally.
a new woman in my life, and all we can do since we don't really spend time in each other's apartments is go for walks. So I
Yeah.
guess I want to take her on a proper date.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, for me it's the same thing. It's like, certain restaurants that we can't go to. I gave myself a haircut
Oh, that's what
because
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a haircut.
I gave myself a haircut because my hair was just massive,
Yeah.
and I couldn't live with it. So I just decided to just shave it off. My wife hates me for it, but I had to be done. And yeah, definitely, I guess, you know, go see my family, right? Try and go see my
Mhm.
family and spend some time with them because we've had two birthdays in this house and we haven't been able to be with our families. So I guess
Mm.
getting together with our families is going to be a huge thing, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm thinking about
So
that. My birthday is on the 10th of May, actually, and I'm just kind of like, well, guess we're not doing anything too crazy.
yeah, yeah, totally. It's just you make do with what you have at home, right? You're gonna pull
Gotta
out
be
a McCain
thankful.
cake,
I got
a
ice cream.
McCain's frozen cake. So, I guess what's one quote that you can kind of leave us with that is a shareable quote that you can, I guess
Mm.
inspire us with.
So I've got a fun one for you that I wanted to share from a marketing piece that I did a couple years ago with a friend. We made
Okay.
air fresheners for your car, and we called it New House Smell. And here it is. I have one left.
Oh,
It
that's
was me.
awesome.
Yeah, it's me as Clark Kent, and we wrote on the back of it, "Look up in that car. It's Josh Kepkay, Realtor." And then we put, "Right now, homeowners, many owners are yada yada yada." The best part is though, buyers and sellers are looking for a Superman-like realtor, but walk past Clark Kent every day. I thought that was fun.
That's
But if
amazing.
you want like a real inspirational quote, I've been reading this book recently called Man in the Mirror, and
Okay.
one that says is especially for times like right now, I thought very applicable is God prepares great men for great tasks by great trials, and that's by
Nice.
J.K. Gresset. So good
Nice.
initials with J.K. and
I gotta read that. Oh, what's that book called?
it's called The Man in the Mirror by Patrick M. Morley, and it's a book that really all men should read.
Nice. I definitely
Hmm.
putting it on my list here. That's for sure. Anyway, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you speaking to me today. And guys, if you have any interest in the Vancouver real estate market, if you know anybody that's going to Vancouver that needs to buy real estate, Josh is your man. I refer all my clients out in Vancouver to him, and he'll be able to answer all your questions and take very good care of you. And Josh, it's always a pleasure. I thank you again.
Thanks
And
for having me.
stay healthy, stay safe, and hopefully we can meet at another event in the near future in person.
Yeah, I got to come to Toronto and learn what it's all about, because but then maybe I'll fall into the trap of wanting to move there. So we got to be a little careful.
Well, everybody seems to want to move out there from here, so you'd be the exception. But yeah, definitely when you're in town, you know who to call, and I'd be happy to give you the tour.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for having me. You stay safe as well, and all the best to you and your family as well, and your wife for being gracious with your new haircut.
Cheers. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.